This is a battle in the Use It and Lose It tournament. The Battle of Sigurdr between Iceni and Nervii. And wow, this map. Nervii is apparently starting on top of a massive hill. I don't know whether this map was in the map pool. There was a map called Sigurdr, but I think these coordinates are a bit weird because I've looked at the map and it's nothing like this. I can't imagine that Hayamakas and Charlie put this game in the map pool because this is as unbalanced as you get it. Iceni brings a line of chosen swords and heroic nobles, no surprise. 4 Briton slingers, some veteran riders, and levy free. Standard stuff for Iceni. For Nervii, we have mercenary Germanic scout riders taking some fire early on, wanting to push up and get at the slingers, but they're going to eat a face full of javelins and they are going to lose a lot of men for that. Moving around, trying to get at the slingers, but they're not really going to be able to. We can't see much of the Nervii army here, but I'm going to guess there are Celtic warriors, Oathsworn, Levy Freemen, Mighty Horse, and Germanic scout riders. So the Germanic scout riders are actually managing to get a downhill charge here against the Briton slingers. Knock down a fair portion of them. They get counter-charged themselves. Most of the slingers get up and didn't really lose that much, but here comes another unit in. About to get precursored. Just missed. So 22 kills here, not a cost-effective mercenary Germanic scout rider. The army support too far away for Nervii. And yep, Celtic warriors, let's see, Fierce Swords, Oathsworn, Fierce Swords. So mainly Fierce Swords and Oathsworn here, together with Levy Free and some Celtic Slingers and Mighty Horse. Standard Nervii stuff. So if I'm Iceni in this battle, I'm first of all saying this map isn't in the pool. Please rehost. And failing that, there is no way, nowhere Iceni can engage here where they engaged on even ground. It's just an unbalanced map, a very unbalanced map, unfortunately. So pushing down the hill is Nervii, just moving back a bit Iceni, which is the smart thing to do here. Iceni has the skirmish, but they're going to be firing uphill, and firing uphill makes the missiles significantly less effective. Basically, everything that Iceni does uphill is going to be less effective than what Nervii does downhill. So this is a problem. This is a huge problem for Nervii. Some levy free against levy free action. Downhill levy freemen are probably going to win against uphill levy freemen. Let's see. Combat even so far. Over here the Levy Freemen got spanked and there is no support. Combat still even, but these Levy Freemen have lost more men. Now they're going to die to the Fierce Swords. No support yet for Iceni. Nicely done here, getting the Germanic Scout Riders in to knock down the Heroic Nobles, but the Heroic Nobles countercharge the Fierce Swords. But it's no small problem that there are cavalry units rushing in, attacking the Briton Slingers. This mercenary Germanic Scout Rider is getting kills in the back of the Heroic Noble. Units of Mighty Horse getting killed by Levy Freemen and Veteran Riders. But overall, in every single engagement, Nervii is going to have a much easier time. Heroic Nobles coming up against a blob of units here. Both Levy Freemen and Fierce Swords. The Fierce Swords are exhausted because they've used Frenzy. So the Heroic Nobles are going to get massive kills in this engagement. Here come the Oathsworn though, into the flanks of Chosen Swords. The Chosen Sword band is going to die massively. But if Iceni can win this flank and swing around, these units are in a very, very dangerous position. Because there isn't much for Nervii here. Nervii is starting to get downhill charged, turning the terrain advantage around here. Using the Veteran Riders into the back of the Oathsworn, sending Levy Freemen into the backs of the Oathsworn. So it looks like Nervii overcommitted a bit here, but now Budugnato is being used, force concentration, increasing attack. When the units start wavering, he can also use Fighting Spirits to make them unbreakable. The Veteran Riders killing off some Celtic Slingers here. Getting nice downhill charges with the veteran riders, and it looks like Iceni is winning the flanks. As long as Iceni can hold here long enough, Iceni could just collapse in on Nervii and get very, very nice, very important downhill charges. So it looks like Nervii might have overcommitted here, and even though Nervii had the superior position, they overcommitted. So fighting spirit, the units are going to be unbreakable. It could be important holding these units in the fight for longer. But the Fierce Swords don't have great armor. The Oathsworn are going to be able to hold for an extended period of time. Let's see, the Veteran Riders getting a nice charge here downhill. But that fighting spirit, very important in keeping these Fierce Swords in the fight. The Oathsworn here, exhausted, is losing against the Heroic Nobles, even though it's uphill, because it's being fired upon in the back by these Briton Slingers. So now there isn't a whole lot of Nervii left on the field. Nervii is getting surrounded in the center. Iceni has won the flanks. And one of the problems with Nervii, the reason I thought Nervii would bring mercenary Celtic swords, or just Celtic swords, Celtic warriors, is because the Fierce Swords are so fragile. They can do a lot of damage on the charge, but they are not frontline infantry. They need enemy units to be tied down, and they need to be able to support fights. And for that role, I think Celtic warriors do more than a good enough job. I like to have more cavalry, I like to have more spears. Especially with these rules, because now what happens is that all of Fierce Swords are off the field, they die very easily to cavalry, and look at all the infantry left for Iceni. The Chosen Sword Band, not the best mid-tier swords in the game, but they do have nice armor, they do have nice health, and they do have the ability to grind far better than Nervii's Fierce Swords. And now the Oathsworn is losing decisively up against multiple units. It's broken due to army losses, and what looked like an impossible battle to win for Iceni purely because of terrain turned out to be a defeat. And only 3 Oathsworn, that's a bit of a mistake I think, should have brought 4. But Iceni's 4 Heroic Nobles, 4 Chosen Sword, good choice. 310 kills on the Veteran Riders, 107 kills on Levy Freeman, so Noobez takes it. Very nicely done by Noobez in fighting uphill and turning it around by winning on the flanks and then being able to get great downhill charges against Nervii. And Nervii engaged way too quickly. They should have milked their terrain advantage for everything it was worth. Used the Celtic Slingers against the Britons and basically just be more patient when you have the terrain advantage. Strength and honor.